And up next on the podium now, we have Daelin Hayes, so please use the raise hand function and we'll get started. We are going to get started with Andrew Mintock.
Okay.
A few months removed from the season, I wanted to see if you could reflect a little bit about what this last year at Notre Dame meant to you, which I know is kind of unexpected, especially from, I guess, not only on the field, but kind of your development as a leader through a lot of trying and unprecedented things in the off season and during the season.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. Honestly, I really appreciate that. That's this last year at Notre Dame is really why a 17-year-old kid makes a decision to attend a place like this. Full circle. When I made the decision to come to Notre Dame, it was not only for the football aspect, but to be refined as a young man on the field, off the field, and spiritually. The first goal I had when I stepped on campus was to become a captain, and I was able to achieve that. Another goal that I had was to be able to impact the community around me, and I was able to achieve that as well. And then obviously the football aspect, it came full circle this year as well. To be able to lead a group of men who at no point throughout this year were we ever promised an opportunity to compete. We were kind of stripped of the opportunity to really bond as a team, to have the coaching structure, the academic structure that we had grown accustomed to of being at Notre Dame and throughout our time here. We were never really given any solid opportunity. We were never really given a solid promise to be able to put all that on display. And for guys to be able to buy in this year, the sacrifices that they made, the things that we stood for as an organization, to be able to impact the community and speak up for people whose voices have been oppressed, to lead a community on the field and continue to shine as a light, a beacon of hope for our entire community and rally our students, our faculty, the people in our community and our team. I think that it was really special. And when I reflect on my time at Notre Dame, this is why I chose to come here. And it was just a special year, and I'm so thankful for it. I'm grateful for how things shook out this year because it really was a testament to our buy-in, our traits. Coach Kelly preaches to us to be smart, gritty, to have laser focus, to always have attention to detail, and to have a great attitude. And our team really embodied that, and it really showed. So, I'm just extremely thankful. I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud to be a part of this brotherhood. And I'm proud to have left that stamp at Notre Dame, to have left it better than when I found it when I was a 17-year-old kid.
All right, and next we'll go to Alex Kazura.
Hey, Daelin, thanks for talking with us. You've done so much in the community at your time in Notre Dame. Jason Witten, Man of the Year Award finalist. Where did that come from? Have you always had that mentality? And what does it mean to you to give back to your community?
Yeah, it means everything. And for me, it really starts with my mother. Growing up in a single-parent household, raising me and my two younger brothers, my mother sacrificed a lot of things. My mom had me when she was a 19-year-old kid in college. She sacrificed her youth. She was a kid herself, taking on an enormous responsibility with having me. And, my mother sacrificed a lot for me to be where I'm at and for my brothers to be where we're at as a family. So, it started with, that example. And then, just kind of obviously just paying it forward. I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities, with a great opportunity to go to Notre Dame, to be a big-time recruit throughout my time in high school, and now to have an opportunity to play professionally. So, I wouldn't be here today without countless of sacrifices from my mother, from my grandparents, coaches, mentors, etc. So who am I to take those opportunities and not be able to pay it forward to the next kid, the next generation, to be able to serve as a voice of hope, of encouragement, of love, to give that back, because that was what was given to me for me to get to where I'm at. So, I'm just extremely thankful, humbled by the opportunity to be able to serve this community and the community moving forward wherever I end up. It's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I truly believe in that, and that's a vital part of who I am as a man. So.
Up next, we'll go to Luce Emoji from Blue and Gold.
Daelin, obviously you have made an impact here, and your foremost thing right now is the NFL draft.
Yeah.
But beyond football, and you've talked about it, I mean, would you eventually like to enter a career in politics or some other type of platform where you can continue to do what you have been doing? What are your future plans beyond just the football?
Sky's the limit. Why not run for president? Me and Katie always joke that she's going to be my campaign manager at some point. But now I'm joking around. But I don't know, man. It's not even really about. For me. It's not even about that. It's just more so just putting my hand to the plow and getting to work in the community that I'm within, and whatever role that takes. For me as a captain this year, it was much more vocal. But service has been something that I've done since I got here on campus, and that's just something that's just a part of the fabric of who I am, and it's going to continue to be a fabric of who I am as I move forward. So, what's next as far as after football, I have no idea. Will I go into politics? I can't answer that question right now, but I'll tell you one thing I will be doing is that'll be serving and staying true to who I am and what got me here, and what's kept me grounded throughout my entire time. So, yes, sir.
Up next, we have Josh Allen with the Bucks Report.
Hey, Daelin, how are you doing?
Josh Allen. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Am I the quarterback or am I the defense?
Right. Who knows, right?
No, but congratulations on, getting here. And then my question for you is, has there anyone that you've kind of been leaning on through this entire process, maybe, pro players currently or ex-teammates who have gone through it, just for tips? And then have you spoke with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at all about coming down to Tampa?
Yeah. Yeah, so here's I guess like really in life, right? There's wisdom everywhere. There's wisdom in my mother, past teammates, guys who have gone through this process, our trainers, guys who have, there's wisdom everywhere, right? And I try to keep that, at the forefront of my mindset. Just trying to take little tidbits of information and knowledge and wisdom wherever I can find it, right? And that's just kind of like the mentality that I've had. And have I spoken to the Bucks? I spoke to the Bucks very early in the process, twice actually, once before the Senior Bowl and once at the Senior Bowl. So, yeah, I have spoken to them.
Up next, we have Andre Robinson.
Andre Robinson, Challenger Community News. Congratulations, Mr. Hayes, on everything you've done in the community and what you're doing with your professional career as a football player. You talked about community a lot. A guy from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Did you get a little flack as far as going to Notre Dame, being from Ann Arbor, Michigan, number one? And two, have you talked to the Buffalo Bills? Obviously, I cover the Bills. So Josh Allen, the reference to Josh Allen. Have you talked to the Buffalo Bills?
I have spoken to the Buffalo Bills. I've spoken to them, I think, 3 times. So, yeah, to answer your second question. As far as flack from the greater Ann Arbor community, I get little jabs here and there, being a Ann Arbor guy, Michigan guy, top recruit in Michigan, and not really even giving Michigan a shot. But, I'm a Notre Dame guy. And the best players in Michigan, they come to Notre Dame. And, that's just, that's the mentality that I'm trying to bring, that we're bringing, guys like Khalid Kareem, Ade Ogundeji, myself, Ovia Gofu, these are guys that are coming back to the Golden Dome. We take pride in the Fighting Irish. So, do I regret my decision? Do I even think about the decision? No, not at all, because I'm a Fighting Irish guy. I'm a Notre Dame guy. So, yeah, go Irish.
We're going to go to Alex Kazura next.
Hey, Daelin, I wanted to follow up. I saw a report a couple weeks ago that you said you had a great meeting with Pittsburgh at the Senior Bowl. Do you remember who you met with and what that conversation was like, what you guys talked about?
Yeah. I met with Coach. I met with Coach Tomlin and Kevin Colbert. We had a Zoom interview about a week and a half ago, and then I also met with Mr. Colbert and a few scouts down at the Senior Bowl. Very little of our conversation has ever really been about football. They've been very interested in just kind of getting to know me as an individual young man, and just kind of like similar questions to the beginning of this interview. Just things that I've done in the community, what was my mindset, kind of what inspires me, et cetera. So they've been amazing conversations. Anytime you get in those football atmospheres and you can kind of take a step back and just kind of focus on the man that you're talking to in front of you, and just kind of getting a general feel for who you would be bringing into your organization. It was awesome. So love those conversations, and can look forward to continuing to have them moving forward.
All right, we're going to ask for final round of questions. So please raise your hand. We're going to go to Ryan Tracy next.
Hi, Daelin. I want to just expand on your journey. As a person, you've laid that out. If you get to, say, a team like Kansas City, which I do cover, that has a veteran and a successful locker room, how do you see your progression both on the field and within that community, and have you spoken with the Chiefs?
I spoke to the Chiefs once at the Senior Bowl. And just kind of, could you clarify that question for me? Do you mean, what do you mean by my progression? What do you mean by that?
Where do you see your maturation, both compared to off the field, of where your game is on the field, and what are you looking to do at the next level?
Oh, yeah. Just continuing to hone in on my craft, right? All aspects of it, being a guy who never has to come off the field. As a pass rusher, as an edge setter, dropping into coverage. I feel like I'm one of the most versatile defenders in this class, and just continuing to hone in on those aspects of it, right? Just continuing to work on my craft and get better in each aspect and continue to grow. So just coming in with that worker's mindset, similar to when I came to Notre Dame, and getting to work and learning from guys who have done it before me. It's a huge opportunity, and I'm excited for it.
And then we're going to go to Andre Robinson again.
Hey, Daelin, I appreciated the conversation earlier about what your family went through, things of that nature. There's no such thing as community without you. So there's no such thing whatsoever. I want to know about some of your obstacles that you had to overcome personally yourself to get to this level, and what you would tell others.
I think if you even go to as far as my high school career, I mean, I was a guy who was a highly recruited guy who really didn't play very much football throughout high school. I played probably a collective 9 games of 3 injuries back to back to back on my shoulder. And, those are uncontrollable circumstances. It's something that, you work your butt off for this game, and to really not have an opportunity to be able to play the game that you work all year round to go out and compete and show what you've been, working on. It was kind of gut-wrenching. Especially 15, 16, 17 years old. But, what I learned throughout that process is that, and what kind of helped me throughout this year is that, when you go and you put in the work, right, you go in and you bust your butt, you do so without any type of guarantee of an opportunity, right? You do that just because that's what the game is owed. You put in the work, you put in the time, you dedicate yourself to something because that's what the game requires. There's no entitlement in the sense that you may never get to. This may not play out the way that you want it to play out. But just because you work hard, that doesn't mean that it's gonna, the chips are gonna fall your way. But you do that with, it may take 3, 4, 5 years. You never know how long you might be in your process for, your grinding process. But you do so and you stay the course. You persevere. You may remain resilient, and I think that served. Those lessons that I learned as a 15, 16, 17-year-old going in, coming out of high school, I think served well this year, in a pandemic where we didn't know if we were going to play. So, your motivation to get up and go work out, or your motivation to, go do our questionnaires and continue to stay locked in on the things that, make us Notre Dame, I think it served as one for myself and as a leader of our team. So, just keeping those things in mind, learning those things throughout my youth as a player, and, taking those lessons and applying them as a leader moving forward.
And now we have a question from Lou Samoji.
Yeah, and just to follow up, the fact that you had such a difficult high school career where you only played, I believe, like 9 games,
Yeah.
did that help in your maturity and shape you to realize that football can be taken away at any time and that I need other aspects in my life to prepare me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the strongest thing that it gave me was perspective, right? Perspective in the sense that, it's not often that a 14, 15-year-old is kind of like looking his football mortality, in the eye. At that point, you're kind of just getting started, right? But and I think that in a lot of ways shaped my decision to want to attend a school like Notre Dame, right, where I was going to be refined on the field and off the field and be able to compete, in the classroom with some of the brightest minds that you'll ever be around. To graduate with a Notre Dame degree, to be a Notre Dame guy, and then turn around and beat Clemson Saturday night, prime time. So to be able to play big time football and be able to compete in the classroom with the best, I think was, something that was, kind of derived from those obstacles that I had to face in high school. So, yeah, absolutely. It absolutely shaped who I am as an individual.
And that is all the questions we have. So thank you, Daelin, for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.